Okay, quick little video about car leather cleaning. Whenever it comes to detailing as a professional as well as a car owner, most people, a big majority of them, just have unrealistic expectations. They just don't know. So for example, when I've cleaned this leather, it's on a Escalade. It's got 119,000 miles on it. My customer slides in and out of this. It has literally worn the finish right off of here. So if this leather was overly dirty, you as a detailer or as a car owner may not realize that this has been worn off. There's nothing that can be done about this as far as the traditional detailing capabilities. It's just damaged, you know. So there's prevention, there's restoration, there's cleaning, and then there's true damage repair. Okay, detailers, we have to understand our limitations. So this is where, for example, when I'm approaching a car and I'm talking to the customer, I'm going to have a little, it's like a disclaimer where I have to understand, if they understand the possibilities and have a realistic understanding of what is possible. So you never know what you're going to get till you're getting it. So you could be cleaning this leather and suddenly you could reveal this that has been caked on with dirt, and due to inexperience you may think, oh my gosh, did I do that in the cleaning process? Well, the answer is no. It was lying there underneath the dirt. If it was saturated or soiled enough with a layer of dirt that it was hidden or camouflaged. So as you clean it, if indeed it was that dirty and now this is revealing itself and Johnny customer comes out and says, what? Did you do that to my leather? Well, you've got to have the experience to know that, hey, guess what? This is part of leather because you slide your butt across it. You have worn the finish right off of this leather. There's nothing in the world, not all the cleaning in the world, I don't care what detailer you are, you cannot clean this damage away. So in order to manage expectations from the beginning, I have a discussion with my customer if I know that there's a possibility of that, because I'm going to either have to use aggressive cleaners or that the car is that old or that dirty to begin with. It's kind of like when you polish a car. Sometimes the ironic moment is that you actually reveal scratches because you have washed it, clayed it, and detailed it and waxed it, and now, sorry about the phone. So sometimes, when, like on the outside, that you can clay or you can wash, clay, wax without even doing any polishing or whatever, and it will reveal blemishes or scratches in the paint that did not show up before because at a level the dirt was kind of hiding it. And now you've made the finish, and no, I have not done this outside yet, but now you have made the finish so smooth and shiny that it will now reveal certain blemishes that were always there, but Johnny customer did not see them. And so they can come out and say, oh wow, where did this come from? I didn't see that before. And they may automatically want to start playing the blame game and point the finger at the last person that touched their car, which in this moment is you. So that's where you've got to understand the nature of the beast, how people operate, and the same is with leather. So I have a little disclaimer and I say, hey, Mr. Customer, Mrs. Customer, I'm going to clean your leather with the most effective techniques available. With that said, is because your leather is so dirty, it may reveal permanent damage underneath. And as a professional, I will make a judgment call based on my experience that will be the winning combination, because sometimes I can clean leather and it will either clean the finish off because the dirt has remained so long mixed with natural body oils that it will honestly deteriorate the leather. Never mind them sliding in and out of the car and doing permanent damage this way. So that's where you need to be able to understand the nature of the beast of leather and people, bridge that gap through communication, talk to them prior so that you manage expectations before you have that inconvenient moment of where they suddenly come out and say, oh, hey Darren, what the heck? What's up with this? And now you got to try to backpedal and lay some groundwork that cannot be laid at that point because that moment of opportunity has passed. You should have laid that groundwork at the beginning by educating them, informing them so that their expectations are in the arena of realistic, and therefore you're not trying to backpedal and they will perceive that as a lack of inexperience or whatever. So that's my little sidebar about cleaning leather, that with every area of detailing, it ultimately is a case by case, and you've got to understand the bigger picture. Pull back and look at the variables. Who is the customer? What material am I working on? What is my skill set? What are my techniques? What are my products? What are their limitations? So on and so forth. So while it can be simplified in ways, it still remains a very complex area if you're going to survive and really develop long-term relationships with customers, which is what you want. It's always easier to retain a customer than to go out and find a new one. Just like your reputation, it's always easier to maintain and enhance and develop your reputation than to try to recover a ruined reputation. So that's my little teaching moment with detailing and life. Till next time. Okay, I've finished detailing the inside of this car. Back to the discussion on the leather. Something that I've illustrated or tried, a point I've tried to drive home over and over again is, regardless of what you are detailing, regardless of the product, the technique, your experience, a rule is always test, check for results, then either proceed forward or change direction. So you always have to test, always verify, and then move forward. And this is why manufacturers have to dumb things down, because people don't like to read directions, they don't like to test, they just want to cut to the chase and not verify. So that's my little added disclaimer, is always test, verify, and move or approach accordingly.